Hello there. Are all of you there? Let's see the videos. Cool. Can all of you hear me? Chandigarh, आपको सुनाई दे रही है मेरी आवाज?
Yeah, we are able to hear you from Hyderabad.
Excellent. And Hyderabad, Bangalore, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we are able to hear you.
Excellent. So we're going to run through a couple of slides. Since now all of you have done at least one enrollment, you've seen one enrollment in your center. We'll see a couple of slides just to make our points absolutely clear. And please stop me with any questions that you have. You can either raise your hand or you can say, stop and I want to ask a question. Yeah, so there it is. One of the things that have been introduced, as we were just discussing in 1.3, is the head of the family. And for head of the family, we have to ensure that HOF is head of the family is enrolled first. Why that? Because once the head of the family is enrolled, only after that can we enroll the rest of the team, rest of the family members, right? So you will do the head of the family enrollment normal, like you normally do. You may not get the Aadhaar number for the head of the family. It could just be the enrollment number, right? So the enrollment number, as shown over here, can you focus on that? Enrollment number? No, I've shared it already. I'll share the desktop, but it's still not coming. Yeah, great. Can all of you see the enrollment number? Okay. Bangalore, tell me what is the difference between the enrollment number and the Aadhaar number? Bangalore.
Enrollment, yeah, number, which is agency code, the station ID, auto-generated file letters, the date, month, year, as well as hours, seconds, and minutes and seconds. Aadhaar number is a 12-digit number.
Great.
Randomly generated 12-digit number.
I see. Okay. Okay. Now, at this moment, I am showing the acknowledgement resident copy and the consent for enrollment office copy. Hyderabad, can you explain what I am showing on the top half of the page? When and where is it printed? Hyderabad?
Residence copy.
Yeah, the top.
Hello?
Yeah,
Residence
please
copy.
continue. Yeah. What is the speciality of residence copy? What is it? Who signs on it? Who gets it? When is it printed?
So this slip is given by the EA operator by signed by that operator who has done the enrollment.
Okay.
And time is shown on top right corner.
Okay.
And enrollment ID is as you highlighted. And complete details of the resident.
Got it. Is the bank details given there? Sure?
No, sir.
It's not given.
Only bank name is given.
Exactly. So the bank name is given. The account number may not be given.
That is confidential.
Yeah. Okay. The next aspect is Bangalore. can you explain the bottom half of the page? Who gets this?
That is the consent slip will be handed over to the resident. Oh, sorry, that will be taken by
Hand it over to the
the
resident?
sorry, no, it will be taken by the enrollment agency operator and filed it along with this application, saying that the resident has given consent after his enrollment.
Correct. Now, when you say file it, exactly what happens to it? Correct. Great. Now, when you say file it, you say that the enrollment agency files it. What do you understand by that? What is filing it? Bangalore?
So, along with his application and his documents, what he has provided, the slip will be attached to that.
Okay. Is that it? Or kuch attached hoga? Will anything else be attached?
Yeah, that is what. Or the POI, POA, as well as the documents, as well as the application and this consent slip.
Right. Will the original copies be attached or will the photocopies be attached?
Photocopies will be attached.
Great. And where do all these papers go to?
Will be to the concerned registrars.
Concerned registrars. Okay. Now, Chandigarh, आपको ये पता है that there is also this concept of correction of data. What do you mean by correction of data? Chandigarh, now I have to show the Aadhaar client.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Chandigarh, आप बताएंगे इसका क्या मतलब है करेक्शन?
अगर सर किसी की यूआईडी करने मतलब किसी का कोई भी उसमें यूआईडी में कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, जैसे फादर नेम या कोई डेट ऑफ बर्थ वगैरह, तो उसको हम द्वारा उसका जी हेलो
आपने बोला यूआईडी में प्रॉब्लम है, इसका क्या मतलब हुआ?
थोड़ी सा डिटेल में कोई भी अगर कोई भी मिस्टेक हो गई है यूआईडी में, तो उसको हम यूआईडी नंबर डाल के दोबारा उसकी करेक्शन कर सकते हैं।
यूआईडी नंबर, वो कौन सी नंबर हुई?
ईआईडी, सॉरी, एनरोलमेंट।
ओके, कब कर सकते हैं हम? 5 साल
48 घंटे के अंदर अंदर।
ओके ओके, द ट्रेनर ओवर देयर, कैन यू प्लीज एक्सप्लेन दैट इन इंग्लिश?
Hello, am I audible?
The trainer there, can you explain that in English?
Right. Yeah, he said that we can do the correction using the EID, enrollment ID, right? We have to write down the enrollment ID and also as well as the time, date, which when it was done, and there is a limit of 48 hours that it has to be done within 48 hours.
Okay. The trainer over there at Chandigarh, can you take me through the screen? Right now, I am in the data correction screen of the demographic, this thing. Can you take me through the screen, please?
I believe on the screen, you are on the correction screen.
Right. Can you take me through that? Some of the fields there?
Right. If you have any kind of ID, we'll put it in the enrollment number, enrollment ID there, and we'll type the date. Right. Okay, and then we can we can fill up the data, right, as per that. If it is to be name correction, on the right hand side at the top, there is a checkbox of name correction. It is to be checked.
Okay.
It is to be checked. Right now, the corrections, when you click on that, we can write down not of the child, but of the name correction. You clicked on the child details.
Now, I have a question here for you, Chandigarh. Even though I have not clicked on the checkbox for name correction, even then, the name is coming, the name field is coming as compulsory. What do you have to do for that? Yes, Chandigarh?
Right, there is a pop-up.
I see the name field over here. I see the name field over here, and I see that it is still coming as compulsory, even though I have not selected name correction. How do you answer that?
No, it is to be filled it up. It has to be filled up.
Okay.
The name has to be filled up because we write down the enrollment number, the date, and the name as per the EID. You know, we have to write down the name as well. If there is any mistake, then we'll write down the correct name. And wherever if there was any gender mistake, then on the left side there is a kind of a yellow color, you know, a check box, you know, a kind of a pencil mark. We will click on that, it will turn green, and then we can do. Right now you can see it's grayed out. We cannot make any changes in the gender. So once we on that pencil mark, the color will be changed. Can you do that, please?
Like that?
Right, now we can make the changes. As it's turned from orange or red, it's turned green. Yes, it's done. Now there is one more thing. Do you want me to proceed with the address part as well?
Sure, please do that.
Alright, okay. Now the thing is, when the correction is done, it is must that the address is to be filled it up. Okay. If it is correction, the address has to be filled up again.
That's right. Continue.
Thank you.
Continue. What about verification? Do you need verification while connecting?
Right. We'll write down the as per the details are required, and as mobile and email are not mandatory, but still this time in the correction screen, resident wants to share his mobile number. Again, we'll click on that mobile pencil mark and we'll turn it green. Okay, so we can enter the mobile.
No, I was asking for the documents. Would you need documents or head of family or introducer in case of correction?
Sure, we do.
So what does the resident have to get with him or her when they want to come back for correction? What are the things that the resident will need?
Firstly, he should carry the enrollment ID receipt, right? So that he has to bring it up before starting any correction. Because looking at the enrollment ID receipt, that the acknowledgement which resident receives, on that the proper ID with the time and the date is written, which is to be filled it up on the screen, on the correction screen.
Correct.
The EID and the documents should be there.
Great. What else? Do you also have to give the relationship to resident? Chandigarh?
Sorry, we didn't get you.
Do you also have to give the relationship to resident?
Yes, relationship is there, right? If it says he doesn't want to share, then click on not given. Then the thing grayed out and no need to share for that. But it is must for the case of the child.
Okay. One more thing that I want to stress is, whenever you want to correct the data, photograph is a must. Do you notice this?
Okay, now here comes a question, Sandeep. Can I ask? May I ask?
Yeah, please ask.
Okay, now when a correction is done, a photograph is must. Now, as per we know that this is just to confirm that the person who is in EID, he came himself, right? Okay. Now, whatever the UID which will be generated, okay, जो भी UID Aadhaar letter जो घर आएगा, right? It will be carrying photograph. Which one? The correction screen or the one which was clicked before? Which photograph will be there on the Aadhaar letter? Because sometimes citizens ask that आज जो photo खींची है.
Stop saying. I'm sorry. You stop saying citizen. Stop saying citizen.
I'm sorry, resident.
Yeah.
So what is to be done?
Okay. See, the photograph is given in the correction step just to ensure that this is the correct resident and it is that resident who wants to change his data. But the Aadhaar number is going to be generated based on the original biometric data which was given by the resident. The original biometric data set is the photograph, the fingerprint, and the iris scan.
So the photograph which were clicked former will be selected, but not the later one.
That is correct. That is correct.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. For the review, we have to do the same thing. There has to be an operator. There has to be an operator confirmation as well as the resident confirmation. Do you see this? Hey, nahi aa raha hai wo. Give me a minute. Sorry, I'll have to share my desktop again.
Take your time.
Yeah. Do you see the resident confirmation and the operator confirmation? Got that? So again, the question will come in that, when we are saying resident confirmation, is this the new left eye iris that is going to be sent? There is no. This is just for confirmation. The original set of biometric data that was captured, that is the one which will remain with Aadhaar, with the Aadhaar number, will be linked to the Aadhaar number. Okay. And my suggestion for the trainers as well as for everybody else is please use the word resident, please use the word Aadhaar number and the enrollment ID. Stop saying UID and EID. It gets very, very confusing and people might just make a mistake. Okay, so say resident. So there is a difference between a citizen and a resident. Hyderabad, can you tell me what is the difference? How do we define a resident in case of Aadhaar? Hyderabad. मेरा वीडियो नहीं आ रहा. Hyderabad, I'm waiting for your answer.
Residence means, sir, whoever is residing within India.
For how long?
Sir, doesn't matter.
Oh, doesn't matter. So I can be residing one day and I can get an Aadhaar number. Bangalore, what do you have to say to that? So I can come all the way from Mauritius and step into India for half a day and get an Aadhaar number. Is that it?
No, sir. Yeah.
Then Bangalore, can you answer? Who's a resident?
Yeah, he has to be there for more than 6 months. He should have at least a valid ID and address proof.
Precisely. Let us understand that it could be 3 months old resident. However, he should have a POI and a POA. That is proof of identity, proof of address here in India. A person who has just come for one day will have neither. He will not have an Indian address for that one day. Right? Or an introducer is supposed to introduce that person. So a new person will not be able to get it. And we are not talking of the word citizen here. The term citizen is only given. An Indian citizen is the Indian passport. This is nothing to do with a passport here. We are talking of a resident. That's point one. Second is the enrollment ID is different from the Aadhaar number. Now here's a question to Chandigarh. Chandigarh, अगर मैं enroll करता हूँ और मैं फिर से आके उसको करेक्शन करता हूँ, तो मुझे क्या दूसरी एनरोलमेंट आईडी मिलेगी या पहली वाली वैलिड रहेगी after the correction is made? My question was, if I come and I make some correction within the first 48 hours to my data, then will I get another enrollment ID or will my original enrollment ID be valid? Chandigarh.
Original.
So correction करने के बाद I will not get a new enrollment ID? Chandigarh. After correction, will I not get a new enrollment ID? Chandigarh.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah. Now you are.
So whenever a new correction is made, a new enrollment ID is generated. But the
Hyderabad
original
and
one which
Bangalore,
but the
yeah,
original one will be used.
the original one will be used. So what's the sense of making a new enrollment ID? Okay, can you share these two? I want to show both of them. This and this. I want to show both. This and this. What do I do? These two. Come on. Minimize. Give me a minute. I'm trying to show you a dummy enrollment slip. Yeah. See that? Yeah. Got it? Yeah. Can all of you see this? I've got a dummy resident copy of an enrollment slip, and I've got an acknowledgement of correction resident copy. Do you see that? Do you see two different enrollment numbers? All of you, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chandigarh. Do you see the enrollment numbers are different? The only reason why the difference is so negligible is because I did it immediately, one after the other. So the time period is also hardly anything. Got it? So when we correct our data, our demographic data, the resident gets a new enrollment slip with a new enrollment number. Are all of you sure of this? Clear of this? I've just shown it to you. These are dummy,
Yes,
but
sir.
then they have to do. Any confusion in that?
No,
See,
sir.
ultimately it is not, the Aadhaar number will be one. He will only get one Aadhaar number. However, the enrollment number will be this one, the new one, from now onwards, not the previous one. And if you can see, the photograph is there in both, because the photograph was captured in both times. The photograph is also in both. Any questions in this? Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chandigarh.
Yes, sir. Which photograph is taken for the Aadhaar card? Old one or new one, sir?
That is what I told you. That's what I just told you, the old one.
So what is the use of taking one more photograph?
The
Just
use
for the
of taking one
confirmation.
more photograph is just to verify that the same person has come back and in person to correct. That is the use.
Yes, sir. Even though we are taking biometric information, like lastly we are taking fingerprint, no? Resident fingerprint. So it's enough for us.
Even then, the enrollment ID, the slip requires that new photograph. It is a requirement. That's the requirement of software. It's the requirement of the process. That's the reason why we are doing it. But do understand the correction process is. Yeah.
If resident wants to change his photograph, then
No.
because we are getting so much sir, we are getting
till
so
now,
much errors.
No. Till now, that is not possible. So the resident will not be allowed to change the photograph like that. So till this particular version, at least, that kind of a thing is not possible. See, that is the whole reason why the first time the resident comes in, we need to try and ensure 100% accuracy. Photograph and everything else, the demographic data and so on. See, every time the resident has to be called back to the enrollment agency, the enrollment center, it is cost incurred for the enrollment agency, cost incurred for the resident, because we are not just talking of any resident who can just take a leave from his office and come back. We are talking of a resident who's going to lose a day's wages if he has to go back to the enrollment agency, enrollment center. We cannot expect every resident to be comfortable doing that. In fact, nobody would. So that is the reason why to try and ensure 100% accuracy from time 1, day 1. Am I clear?
Okay,
Yeah?
sir, clear.
Okay. Let's move on to the PowerPoint. Can we go back to the PowerPoint?
Sir, this is from Bangalore. We have got a doubt. Yeah, what if the resident? What if the resident wants to do any correction regarding his bank account? So earlier, when his original enrollment, he does not give consent for a linking or this thing, opening new account. Then later he wants, he comes and says that, yeah, I want to now link the account or open a other based bank account. So what is the option for him?
As of now, that particular option has not been given. That's the answer. As of now, in this 1.3.3.0, that particular option has not been given. Sorry. The answer to that is cannot be done for now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Not everything has an answer, man. If you were sitting around and designing the software, maybe you would have kept that. But let's understand this is a huge effort. A lot of team members are involved in creating the software. So, yeah. So, okay. This is what we did. The demographic screen. There's a save button which is there in the enrollment mode. It is not there in the enrollment mode. Hey, why isn't it coming? Yeah, okay. There's a save button in the pre-enrollment mode which is activated, but in the enrollment mode it is not activated. So the save in the review screen will always be disabled in case of normal enrollment mode. Similarly, in the confirm introducer later in the review screen, there will be a checkbox called as confirm introducer later. So that is something that I discussed just now. Similarly, if the head of family has been the source of introduction for the rest of the family, then there will be a capture for the head of family's thumbprint or fingerprint. Then there is this concept of fourth screen. We are going to do this in a much greater detail tomorrow, but there is something called as generate the health check report. Okay, the generate health check report. Can someone in Bangalore explain this particular screen to me? Generate health check report.
That is a CSV format file which opens, shows the enrollment ID, whatever the enrollments have been done till that, what has done been till from morning to the evening that day, the report. What is how many? What is the process taken? How much time? Everything. That EID number will be displayed in that CSV file.
So a health check report will look like that. I'm showing the health check report which was auto-generated. And this is what the health check report looks like. It tells me what time we logged in, what date, the enrollment ID, if at all, if anything was created, all those things. Yeah, of course, this is dummy. That's why you're not getting the proper enrollment IDs. But it actually shows what time, what date, application was logged into, application was logged out of, all of this. It's very clearly. Bangalore, can you explain something more about the health check report? Why do you think we need anything like a health check report? And whose health are we checking here? Bangalore?
We are checking the quality of the operator as well as the time taken by him during the process, everything.
No, whose health are we checking here?
The packets generated.
and the software, the client. Yeah, because I know the application login and the application logout and so on and so forth, right? Also, the supervisor of that enrollment agency can find out what time things were logged in and what time they were logged out. So in case the supervisor is not present, let's say for 10 minutes, and the operator says, oh, I've logged in 10 minutes ago, I can confirm that. Got it? So it tells the supervisor all of that. Now, I am in data, in the data settings, export data and import data and sync. Let us talk about export data. I'm back on the PowerPoint. Okay, I'm not showing the export data right now, but for export data, why do you think this is needed? Chandigarh, आप बता सकते हैं export data करता क्या है? हम किस चीज को export कर रहे हैं? Chandigarh?
हेलो
Yeah, Chandigarh, go on.
सर एक्सपोर्ट डाटा हम वो करते हैं जो जैसे सुबह हमने सिस्टम लॉगिन किया है और टिल द डेट शाम तक हमने जो भी एंट्रीज डाली हैं प्रॉपर ड्राइव में उसका पाथ बनाकर उसका पर्टिकुलर फोल्डर बनाकर उसके अंदर डाटा एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं बैकअप के लिए।
क्या वो पाथ कहाँ तक बनती है?
सर वो आप किसी हार्ड ड्राइव के अंदर सर आप एक्सपोर्ट का फोल्डर बना के उसके अंदर सर जिस ड्राइव में आधार सॉफ्टवेयर होता है उसके अंदर नहीं बनाना, जो स्टिल दूसरा ड्राइव है उसके अंदर बनाना सर एक्सपोर्ट फोल्डर।
ओके ओके, Bangalore, can you be a little more clear on this? What does export data do?
Export data contains the packets, enrollment packets, as well as a document, which is in 3.30 version, where the acknowledgement slip and the consent slip will be displayed.
There is no 3.30 version, sir.
1.3.30.
Yeah. 1330.
Yeah. The documents, it will contain a manifest file, the log file, the enrollment ID packet inside that, as well as a document file of the total enrollments done on the day.
Correct. Okay. When do we do the import data?
Import data is data is done when we have a pre-enrollment data. Either it is provided by the registrar, or if we do the pre-enrollment board, we import the pre-enrollment data into the application by putting through the which will be CSV format. After that, we will put in the pre-enrollment ID and click on the go button. Then the data will get displayed in the demographic screen.
Great. Hyderabad, tell me what is meant by syncing of data. There's a sync option given. What do I mean by sync?
Yeah, synchronization in the sense we are synchronizing with the CIDR. Whatever the packets are generated on that day, if you synchronize with the CIDR, then it will be useful to generate the read packets. Like if you synchronize today, yeah, it will mark the packets for the deletion for next time synchronization.
Okay. Can any of the teams explain me the difference between export of data and synchronization of data? Any of the teams?
Yeah, exporting of data means we are exporting to internal our hard drive, whereas synchronization is done by online through CIDR.
Okay, so does any data packet get transferred from the enrollment station to CIDR during synchronization?
No packets will be uploaded in synchronization process.
Okay, perfect. So when are the packets, how are the packets actually given to the CIDR?
This process will taken care by the tech support team. Once they will take the backup from the each and every station, and they will upload through agency online to the CIDR.
So how will they take the packets from each and every station?
So
How
I
will
didn't
they
get
take?
you. External hard drive.
Exactly. So when you export the packets which have not yet been received by
Yes.
CIDR, will be copied into the external, either a memory stick or an external hard drive, whatever.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? So tomorrow I'll deal with it a lot more about exactly what happens after that. But for now, the basic is enough. Because tomorrow is for the supervisor, so we'll see that. Okay? Next.
Okay.
These are the 16 steps for everybody. These are the 16 steps for capturing resident information. Can all of you see this? All 16 steps? Get that? 16 steps for capturing resident information. Are they still connected?
Yes, sir. We can able to see.
Yeah, great. There's a little bit of power failure on my side, so I thought that things are all gone now. ACs are off. Okay. Does any team have any questions on any of these 16 points? Got that?
Hello.
Sir, I need some clarification on 16th
Yeah.
point.
Okay. Yeah. Ask the question.
If at all, if residents is somewhat busy, if he is not able to come within 48 hours, then what's the situation?
Nothing. His incorrect data will go. And an Aadhaar number will be generated based on his incorrect data.
So that means the old packet will be uploaded to CIDR.
Yes, it will.
Or is it corrupted?
It is not corrupted. See, when I say incorrect data, I may mean that the spelling of that person's name is not correct, or some address spelling is not correct. Now, as far as Aadhaar is concerned, Aadhaar number is concerned, that is fine. Right, because the biometric data is perfectly fine and it's a unique data, so that is perfectly fine. Correction is done on behest of the resident who comes back and says, I want it corrected. Or when the supervisor says this information is wrong, you need to get it corrected. If none of this happens, then it doesn't happen within 48 hours, then the information simply goes off to CIDR. Once there, then it depends on the quality team of UID AI who checks to see whether the information is valid according to them or not, whether they have the male face and a female gender and so on. If it fails any of those tests, then an Aadhaar number will never get generated. But if it passes all those steps, then there's nothing that can be done. An Aadhaar number will be generated. For the present versions, once an Aadhaar number has been generated, we do not have a way by which we can correct or change some of those details. In future versions of Aadhaar, we will get Aadhaar client, we will get such issues where a person whose whose Aadhaar number has been generated can come back with his Aadhaar card and change his data as well. Because it is perfectly possible that after 5 years, the person changes his residence, right? Or he gets married, or etc., etc. So all of those things will be incorporated. At present, in this particular software, in these versions, we don't have that business. It will come by and by. We have just started, right? It's just been 1 year. That's why we don't have that kind of business. Do you get that? Or
Yes,
the supervisor might put the data on hold. We're going to talk about hold data tomorrow, but the supervisor might put this data on hold. That way, again, it is perfectly possible that the data is not exported, nor is it sent up to CIDR. That's another way of doing it. Let's move on. Can Chandigarh tell me KYR plus data का क्या मतलब होता है? चंडीगढ़ आप बताइए KYR plus मतलब क्या होता है? या चंडीगढ़ चंडीगढ़ your voice is not audible. Chandigarh. Hey, can you put the audio on? Okay, for some reason Chandigarh is not responding.
Hello.
Bangalore, can you?
Yes,
Yeah.
Chandigarh.
Hello.
Yeah.
KYR means know your residence.
Yeah, what is KYR plus? What
Know
is
your
this data?
residence in all the or another extra government fields.
Sorry, क्या?
Local government fields. Just like PF detail, पेन का डिटेल नहीं, पेन का डिटेल उसमें आती है, मैंने पीएफ डिटेल है और गवर्नमेंट की जो राज्य सरकार की जो अलग से डिटेल होती है वो सब उसमें आती है फॉर्म के अंदर.
Bangalore, can you explain that in English, please? What does KYR plus data mean? Yeah, Bangalore,
KYR,
go ahead.
yeah, KYR plus is the additional information required by the concerned registrars, maybe the government or a department of post or a concerned bank, anything. Whatever the additional information he requires from the residents, that will be incorporated in the KYR plus software.
Correct. Can you start the camera? I want to show an enrollment form and a KYR plus form. Can you focus on this? Okay, guys, I'm going to show you an enrollment form and a KYR plus form from Mumbai. So a registrar in Mumbai is using this particular form. I need to see my screen. Yeah, exactly. I'll not move much, but this is the enrollment form. Can you focus a little bit closer on this? Is that possible? Yeah, if you can notice, it is written in English and in Marathi. That's the enrollment form, the basic thing which the Aadhaar, the demographic screen needs, the Aadhaar client needs, right? That's the enrollment. But the government, that is the registrar in Maharashtra, also needs this additional information, right? 2 whole pages of information. This depends on the registrar. Every registrar may have a different KYR plus. This is dependent on the registrar. What about the software which captures the data? This again has to be done by the registrar. This has nothing to do with Aadhaar per se. The Aadhaar client is the own client, but the extra information, whatever is needed, is dependent on the registrar. It is dependent on the date. That's the reason why we don't have that in our training manuals, because only one thing is common, and that's the enrollment form. But everything else, the KYR plus information, is not common at all. Did all of you get it? Is there a question on this? KYR plus? KYR plus is the additional information that is needed by that registrar apart from the Aadhaar details, the demographic details. Okay, so that is the reason why we need it. That's why we have something like a KYR form. And KYR plus data is captured because every registrar wants to utilize all this information. Data capture does not need to be done again and again and again. So that's the idea. Let's focus on the screen. So if you notice, the KYR plus software is a separate software and the Aadhaar enrollment client software is a separate software. Got that? So that is number 3 and number 13. There are 3 different software. Sorry, 2 different software. Yeah. And the operator, I'm sure all of you must have done it as well, presses Alt Tab to switch between applications. That's why this Alt Tab has been mentioned in step number 9. Now, as we move on, I understand that everything possible cannot be covered in this small lecture of like 1.5 days. That is the reason why I have given you, for all the teams I have done this, there's a PDF file called Module 6, Aadhaar Enrollment Client.pdf. Can you share it, right? Yeah, that's the one. It is called Module 6 under Aadhaar _Aadhaar Enrollment Client.pdf. Can all of you open it in your respective centers, please? I'm sure by now you've got it because I've sent it in the morning. So by now everyone would have got it. Can you open it, please? It's a 110-page document called Module 6 Aadhaar Enrollment Client.pdf. Please acknowledge Chandigarh. आप लोगों ने खोला है? Hyderabad, have you guys managed to open it?
Yes, sir, open from Hyderabad.
In Hyderabad. What about Bangalore?
Yes, sir, it's open.
It's open? Right. So if you notice, I have seen a lot of supervisors and operators, they don't even bother reading these documents. Please understand, the CMC team as well as me, we have worked a lot to write these documents, create these documents. They are for operators and supervisors. Whatever I taught you today has all been given over here and a lot more. Obviously, it is not possible for me to do every possible thing. We just don't have that kind of time. And plus, this is a virtual class. That's another issue. So I can't see everybody, what you guys are doing and all. But at least for all your doubts, for every possible field, we have explained it in great detail. It has got screenshots which tell you precisely what each thing is. So please, a request, go through it. We have given detailed steps on what to do for each of those screenshots. Go through it. You will be in a much better position than if you were to just sit down for a lecture, for a training. Because nobody taught us, for the CMC team or for me, when I got in and created all these documents, at that point in time, there was no one to teach us. We just had the software last year, and that was it. And we got some documents from UIDI, and that's about it. Okay, so I would expect that especially the supervisors and the trainers, you spend maximum time reading this particular document. This will help you understand the client in and out. 1.3. And we keep on upgrading it. So the moment we have 1.5, actually launched properly, then this document will be updated for 1.5 as well. For the operators, I have also given some CBT, some computer-based training, right? So there will be somebody who will be talking in that CBT, and that I cannot open because the software does not allow me to share that CBT, but I have already sent them to you. So guys, can you open, there'll be a folder called CBT in the folders that I have shared. Respective folders, please. Your respective centers, can you open these folders? There's something called as CBT. चंडीगढ़, आप लोगों को ये CBT का फोल्डर मिला?
Sir, it's still downloading from Hyderabad.
अच्छा, Bangalore?
It's already downloaded, sir.
Yeah, can you open it, please, the CBT? I think I've given you module 6A and module 6B. What about Chandigarh? आप लोगों को मिला ये? Yeah, Chandigarh.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sandeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Good
from
afternoon.
Bangalore. So we would like to know one thing in that download, whether it is required to download that folder completely, because what it is showing is that it is allowing only one by one file download.
Oh.
So
Okay.
the thing is that
That is a big problem.
that the complete structure has to be changed, because we have to go to individual folders and one by one we have to download the files. Because what we see in the part 1, there is an exe. Open that part 1. Oh, no. Yeah, in the part 2 actually there is an exe and 3 folders: content, global and objects.
Yeah.
So everything we have to, let's say content, we have to go into the content and then we have to download one by one files. Like we are not able to get it completely.
Oh
So
dear. Okay. I will ask my engineers over here to zip up the entire folder and send the zip across.
Yeah, that will be better. That will be better.
Yeah. So that is. How do we ensure that it is a super fast transfer? Because I would rather that from now till about 6 o'clock or so, people in their respective centers run through the CBTs. Their CBTs are short CBTs, some 15-20 minute CBTs. So if you can run through them, there'll be a voice which will explain the entire client once again for you. So that will be a kind of a revision for all of you. So can we have a super fast transfer using this particular connection? Okay, once apparently my engineers over here are telling me that once I can stop this particular session, you guys will be able to download it much faster. Bangalore, will that help?
Yeah, and that will be in a zip format.
Can you zip it up? Yeah, the engineers at this moment are zipping it up and they are sending it. So the trainers in the respective locations, can you please ensure that the people actually spend time now till maybe 6:30 actually going through the CBT. You can play it on the giant screen in your screens in your individual locations, because you'll have a voice there as well, and the CBTs can be played. Right? Just click. You know how to play the CBTs, right? The trainers.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a start.exe. Yeah, you just have to double click on start.exe and everything starts. Like this. Got it? So let's say I click on introduction. There will be a voice which will talk.
You will learn how to use
Got it? Now this is making a hell of a racket over here, but you guys will be able to do it. So there's a CBT for part 1 and part 2. Okay? So till the time that you're downloading that, all of you have already downloaded the PDF file. So till then, read the PDF file. The engineers right now are zipping it up and sending it across to you. So please don't go home. Finish this and then go. So what we learned today was, number 1, the enrollment process, of course, in the afternoon. We practiced it in your individual locations. We also did the errors which are possible in the demographic data capture as well as the biometric data capture. And we saw 1 or 2 reports. Tomorrow we'll be dealing with the export, port, syncing, these fields, as well as the onboarding process of the operator and the supervisor and the introducer and so on. So we'll deal with the administrative tasks tomorrow more than this. So today, just to cement the entire session, I want you to read the PDF file that I've sent you, as well as the 2 CBTs. Yeah, is that clear? Do you have any questions from any of the teams? Is it right? Hold on. Zip kar liya. Yeah, if you have no other questions, all 3 teams, I will break here for the day. Thank you very much for participating in today's session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.